Okay, it's 11 o'clock Central Time. Why don't we get started? On behalf of the International Code Council, my name is Ron Peaster. I work for the Code Council in our Birmingham office, and I'm pleased to welcome you to our second quarterly chapter webinar. Uh, Today's topic is how to use your chapter education benefit day. I know that that's something that is a very valuable resource for all of your chapters. So we're glad you're joining us. Before we get started, I'd like to introduce my colleagues from the Code Council who will be part of the presentation today. First, Tamika Dunning. Tamika, would you introduce yourself, please?
Good morning or afternoon, and I'm Tamika Dunning. I'm Manager of Member Services here at ICC, and I look forward to presenting to you later on a couple of topics that hopefully will be helpful to you. Thanks for joining, by the way.
Thanks, Tamika. Next, Grace McGregor from the Membership Department.
Hey everyone, I'm Grace. I'm the CRM associate working for the membership team, and I'll be monitoring the chat today. So if you have any questions, I'll be keeping an eye on those.
All right, great. Thank you, Grace. And uh, pleased to welcome and introduce two of our colleagues from the training department who are going to talk about some of the specifics of the Chapter Education Benefit Day. Carla Higgs and Ashley Hartsaw.
Everyone, I'm Carla Higgs. I'm Vice President of Enforcement Training, and together with Seminar Coordinator Ashley Hartsaw, she's off screen here helping me with the information that needs to happen. We will pick up where training picks up with the program to help you guys understand our role in this.
Okay, thanks, Carla and Ashley, and welcome. Okay, so I think we're all set to get started. So I'm going to turn it over to Tamika for some announcements and reminders before we get into the program.
Okay,
Tamika?
thanks, Ron. So we've been getting a ton of emails and calls, and so has the events team about the annual conference link for chapters to get their comp registration. We've also had some people paying and asking for reimbursement. So we want to make sure that you don't do that. We're going to be sending a link tomorrow in an email. Look for that. I think they're slated to do it either tomorrow or first thing Monday. But either way, that is coming your way. It'll be in there. We'll have a link for you to register for the conference at no charge if your chapter did not use the benefit for the Chapter Leadership Academy. So if you still have that benefit available, look for that and be sure to, when you click it, it will have the benefit in it. The comp will be inside the link. So you will not have an actual code that you'll have to type in. It should be there for you. So look for that. If you have any questions about it, you can put that in the chat. We don't have mics available, like you're not going to be live and go on and ask your question live. You'll just put it in there. So if you have a question about that, you can contact me directly or Grace, or put that in the chat and we'll cover it. Second announcement is about I guess the upcoming webinars. I'd like to make sure that everybody knows when those will be. Let me pull that up and show you where it is. Okay, so there we are. So if you go to the chapters pages, you'll see the resources. I'm going to walk you through how to get there, but so under chapter resources, this is where you find most of the information, like how to do your annual report, Chapter Leadership Academy, things like that. But also the webinars are under there. You do have to click that little drop down to show it. And when you click it, that's where all of the history will be for prior webinars. So if you've missed quarter one's webinar, you can take a look at that. It is packed full of information. So you want to make sure you look at that one. It covers everything you probably want to email us about. So please take a look at that. And if you scroll down, you'll see the upcoming chapter webinars. please take note of those and then pass that information on to other people in your chapter. Invite them to come to this because you've got future leaders coming up behind you. Make sure that they know what to do, and then that knowledge is passed on. So that's where you find the chapter webinar information. And then I guess the only other thing, what else did I want to cover? Oh, okay. So we've got the next ones coming up. And then today, if you have questions for us, go ahead and put them in there so that in between we'll try to cover them. And at the end, we won't have to cover all the questions at once. So don't try to hold your questions. Go ahead and post those. All right, to my team, is there anything else y'all want to cover here under announcements that I may have missed or that you want to add to before we move on?
I think we're good to go, Tamika.
All right, okay, thank you. Okay. All right, so we will jump right in. Am I next? Yeah, I think I am, right? Want to just flow into the to the big topics?
That's right.
Okay, so we'll just jump right in. How to use your chapter education benefit day. So we get a lot of questions about that. We are super happy to have Carla here with us today and Ashley because we can't do it without them. Half of this is us and half of this is them. So training helps facilitate those speakers getting where they need to be. And we help you to make sure your benefits are in place and that you're able to utilize them. So let's first start with, let me share my screen again and show you the very first place to go. All right. Okay. There, you should be seeing, let me take you to the home page. All right, so if you just open the web browser and you go to iccsafe.org, which is where most people go, then sometimes you get confused. But if you go under membership, drop down to chapters, and then you're going to go into the main chapter page. Again, that is a resource. This is, or a benefit. So either one of those will get you there. But we're going to go to straight to benefits because we're talking about the ICC chapter benefits. What you want to do is start by making sure that you in your chapter report on your annual progress. Do your annual report, and that's how your benefits get activated. We switched about a year ago to a 1-year calendar year cycle. So if you put your annual report in anytime January 1st or later, at any point, those benefits are active right then. They do get processed. Grace has to actually go in and take what you submit, and then she will go ahead and then make that live. So she has to check to make sure the emails are accurate. The system tags you, connects you to your chapter, and then the report is published. So that does take a little while. You'll get this year we implemented an automatic process whereby you get a notification that says you have submitted your annual report. Thanks for submitting. Give us a little time. We'll get that up for you. And then you will get a second one once it goes live. So just hang tight while, if you don't have it, if there's for some reason an emergency, reach out. I know Ashley in training, she does a lot of these for us, and she'll verify sometimes on her end, or you call us and verify any benefits on our end. And then we make sure that your report gets published. But if it hasn't, we'll put a rush on it if you really need it. Okay, so first step is annual report. So the annual report is submitted at the beginning of the year, January. As soon as the year ends on December 31st, those benefits are not active any longer. So I know a lot of people, it's taken a little time for them to adjust to the new change, but these are within the same year. So it ends at the end of the year. So please try to get in your request for any of those. Maybe by November is a good time to make sure that you've requested any training so that they have time to find your speaker and get it booked. So the annual report, the chapter qualifies for the benefits after the submission. All the benefits expire at the end. We covered that. Then the chapter education benefits. That's what most people want. So you're going to scroll down and click chapter education benefit. Okay. And on this page, if you happen to get to this page first, simply check chapter annual report here, click that, and it'll take you to steps. Go ahead and show you. But it will show you exactly how to submit the annual report with pictures, step by step. Tons of people have used it this year. The chapters are loving it. So if your chapter hasn't done it yet, take time to click here and read the steps. It's got great information here on how to submit it if you haven't done so. So after you submit it, again, allow that time for that report to get processed, and then come back after your benefits are active, and then you're going to choose an option. So under this benefit, you get two options. Option one is to request 1 day of training with an ICC instructor. The Code Council training staff will help schedule this training for you, and they'll provide an instructor and provide a PDF of any of the presentation decks that accompany the course. Carla's going to walk you through step by step what that looks like when you click this and how to best utilize the benefit. So that's why she's with us today, to help you understand that a little bit better. And then our second option under this benefit that you qualify for is to receive a day of training via a preferred provider. And she can also cover that for us as well. But you basically schedule that on your own with our help if you have any questions. But both of them will allow for a reimbursement after the event. So your chapter pays for these upfront, and then you submit a reimbursement form, which is right here. You click there, and it'll take you right here. You get a maximum refund from us of up to $1,200. And that's all kind of some of the new stuff that we've implemented last year and this year is automation, ease. Hopefully, with your suggestions at the end of this, you can give us some more tips on how we can make it better. If we need to do anything to make it easier for you, make suggestions at the end, you'll have an opportunity to take a survey. Hopefully you will do that because it helps us to help you and it helps us get better. So this is where I stop and turn it over to Carla, and she's going to walk you through some basic information and some helpful tips on options 1 and 2 of this benefit.
I have a quick question before Carla gets started.
Okay.
Do we get CEUs for attending chapter webinars?
Chapter webinars, no. There are not CEUs in place for these chapter webinars.
Okay.
Okay. I will add that you do get them for the Chapter Leadership Academy if you didn't know that. So if you want to make sure that you attend those, that's a great way to get them. Were there any other questions at this time that may be pertinent to where we are right now, Grace?
Just a note, above the shared screen, there's a little toggle that tells you which screen you are looking at. So if you're looking at the slides, you can switch it that way. But no other questions.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Okay, so Grace, am I on the correct screen?
Yes, I can see your screen.
Okay, fantastic. Thank you. So I'm going to pick up here on the screen Tamika left off from. And before I get started, I accidentally said the wrong title for Ashley. She is a training coordinator. My brain slipped back about 10 years and I said the wrong thing, so I apologize to her. But she is a training coordinator, and Ashley is the person that you would normally reach out to for scheduling your chapter education benefit day. So if you get to this screen and you decide that you want the option of ICC managing your chapter education benefit day, then at some point you will speak with Ashley. So if you get here and you decide on between these two items, the main things are that option 1, getting training from, there's somebody clicking in the background. If you might want to mute your mute. Thank you. The ICC training request, that is for International Code Council to pretty much do all of the scheduling for you. So it's a great way, especially I know you guys are volunteers, you don't have a tremendous amount of time. And if you want to have International Code Council find you an instructor and make the travel arrangements for that instructor and make sure that you have the resources that you need, then all you have to do is find the date and the place and communicate with your chapter members, and all of that is done. Now, the caveat to that is we do manage the instructor for you, because we have to find an instructor that fits your dates, that works with our budgets, et cetera, et cetera. So we would tell you who your instructor is going to be. If you don't want that option, if you would rather have a little more control over who does your, who presents your course, and you want to just contract with that person directly, but you don't want to lose your benefit of a chapter education benefit day, then you would choose the second option, which is a preferred provider. Preferred providers are generally contract instructors or other jurisdictions or organizations. A lot of them are chapters who would contract directly with the chapter. You would pay them, they would come, they would not have ICC PowerPoint presentations or anything like that. They would present their own material, and you would pay that person directly and submit for reimbursement up to a maximum of $1,200, as Tamika explained earlier. So let's look at option one first. Let's say you do want ICC to find your instructor, to manage the chapter instructor travel arrangements, all of that. And we don't charge you at all at that point. It's a zero balance. So you would submit training request, and it would take you to our chapter education benefit course catalog. And this is all of the courses that you would have to choose from. Now, Ashley very kindly sat with me yesterday, and we came up with several more courses that we're going to get added to this. So keep checking back. We're going to add, I think we came up with 17 yesterday that we could add. So that's going to be exciting. And we'll continue to look for new classes, because we know that you want to have the latest information for your chapter members. So let's say, for example, someone the other day was looking for IBC apartment buildings. So I type in, or I even start typing in the word apartment. Now, not up here where it says search courses, but down here where you're actually filtering this particular course option catalog. I type in the word apartment, and I see that I can get a class on IBC apartment buildings. If I click on this, it gives me all the details, tells me it's a 6-hour course, that it's in person, gives me the objectives and a short course description. And let's say that's the one I want. So I'm going to click on this contact, and this handy dandy form pops up. You just tell us all the information that you can and click submit. And usually within a day or so, Ashley's nodding, Ashley will reach out to you and confirm the information, talk with you about any questions she might have, so that she can give you the best service possible. And then she will find you an instructor and reach out to you again and let you know who your instructor is going to be, and continue to confirm information with you as time goes on, gets closer to the date. If you don't know every single thing, don't worry about it. Okay. Once you have the date and the location, we can settle these other details later. That gives Ashley as much time as possible to find you the best instructor possible. So that's something that we work out. You might notice none of these are really required. We're just looking for the basic information right at the beginning. And if there's something she needs to know, she'll reach out and ask you. So don't worry about that. Just do the best you can with the form, hit submit, and that starts the process. One of the things we want to point out to everyone is, as the year progresses, it's harder and harder to find an instructor. We had an instance last year or year before last where I think we had 10 people wanting to have a December class, and they reached out to us in, say, October or November. Well, our instructors aren't necessarily traveling during that time, or they've already booked what few dates they have open during that time. So just so that you are not stressing, and we are able to provide you the best that we can, think about doing a third quarter class if possible, or giving us as much time as possible to find you something and to find you some alternatives if you need it late in the year. Okay, is that right, Ashley? Did I do okay? Okay. So that's
I
pretty.
just want to say hi real quick.
Oh,
Hi, everyone.
thank you. So that's pretty much it for the Chapter Education Benefit Day. Once the class is completed, you'll get a confirmation that we have charged you nothing. It's a receipt for $0.00 in case you need that for your records, and that is done. If you need more than if you need, say, 2 days worth of classes, let Ashley know, and we can do a Chapter Education Benefit Day and a paid contract day at the same time with one training coordinator, and you won't have to go to 2 different places to find that information. So we want to make it as easy on you guys as possible, because we know this is not your full-time job. This is ours. So we're going to do the best we can to make things easy for you. I am running past the time that I told Tamika I would take, so I'm going to very quickly talk about preferred providers. If you go back to this page that Tamika showed you and you decide I want to contract with a particular instructor for a particular course and just pay that instructor directly, then you would want this preferred provider. If you already know who it is and you just want to work directly with them, that's it. That's all you need. Just get a receipt from them later, turn the receipt in to through the submit reimbursement, and you're done. If you need to find a preferred provider, then you click here. I don't know why that keeps popping up. I apologize. And this is a course catalog for our preferred providers. And it's divided into 2 different things, where you can either do the complete catalog, and that shows you all the courses that our preferred providers have input into the catalog, or you can just do scheduled courses. And this is if you're looking for something that's already set up, and say you're a student who just wants to hook into something that's already available, then you would just look under scheduled courses, and this will help you. Now, just keep in mind, it is pretty much a self-serve. So once you decide what you want as far as a preferred provider goes, you don't necessarily need to contact us at ICC Training. You contact that preferred provider directly, and you work directly with that instructor. So all we're doing at that point is membership services is reimbursing you. I think I saw a question, Grace. Do I need to stop talking?
Yeah, I have a few questions
Okay.
for you. So will 2024 IBC changes be on there soon in the course catalog?
We are adding some now. You might remember that the IECC and the IRC were a bit delayed in being published, so we're filling in those blanks right now and getting those PowerPoints put together and getting instructors for them. But there were 2024 courses on that list that Ashley helped me build yesterday. Yes.
Awesome. And then are there any Florida specific courses for the ICC trainings, or maybe just state specific in general?
We don't normally keep state specific courses on our Chapter Education Benefit Day catalog for different reasons. We don't always have instructors who teach state specific courses. That would usually go through a preferred provider. So the short answer to that is no. If you want to hire ICC to teach and you give us plenty of time, we might be able to customize something for you, but that would be something we would have to deal with on a one-off situation.
Okay. This one might be for Ron or Tamika. There's some confusion on the new benefits points. Do you always get the education benefits, and then in addition, you can earn the 50% discount on the second education day?
Thanks, thanks, Grace. I did just write into the chat. Great question. Today's webinar is focusing on the chapter education benefit day, which your chapter qualifies by submitting part 1 of your annual report. If you submit part 2, you can qualify for points that can be redeemed for an additional chapter education day up, and I believe it's reimbursement of up to 50% of an additional chapter training day. So the benefit that you receive that we're talking about today is specifically tied to submitting part 1 of your annual report. The rewards points that you can redeem are tied to submitting part 2 of your annual report. Great question.
Okay, and just a clarifying question, can we utilize both ICC provided training and reimbursable preferred provider training?
If you have earned only the one chapter education benefit day for by turning in your annual report, which is what we're concentrating on right now, it is an either or. So you get either the reimbursement for a preferred provider day, or you get a chapter education benefit day scheduled by training.
Perfect. I think just one more question. We have 3 chapters in Iowa that work very close together. If one of the chapters wants to give their benefit day of training to another chapter, how do we go about doing this?
Is that a membership question? Do you want to answer that, Tamika?
Yeah, I just unmuted. So if we don't have that happen a lot, but you would just email me, and then we'll verify that the chapter has the benefit to give, and then we can transfer the benefit to the receiving chapter. Just start by emailing me directly.
Carla, do you have an estimate for when the 2024 IBC changes would be on? Would that be like Q3 or Q4?
Well, I'm sending the email out today, so hopefully it won't take too long. If there's a, hang on just a minute. Let me ask. I'm going to ask Ashley and put her on the spot in front of you. Can they just ask for it, and if it's available, you can help them?
Are you looking for the IBC? Is that what
Well,
you just said, Grace?
well,
if you want, right now, we're working on the 2024 IBC significant changes non-structural, and we're working on the 2024 IRC IECC. Is that what you were talking? And we're working on 2024 IFC, but we have to get verification of that. So like Carla was just saying, it would have to be something that you asked for specifically.
Yeah, just ask when you get ready to schedule it and you have your dates, ask Ashley about it. And if we see that the PowerPoints and the instructor are available at that time, we can probably accommodate you. But we'll get it more self-serving just as soon as possible, and get it added to the course listing just as soon as possible.
Those are all the questions in there at the moment.
Okay. If you don't mind me taking just 30 more seconds, I just want to say thank you to Ron and Tamika and Grace. It was wonderful of y'all to invite training to participate in this. I think it helps a lot to show where that division of labor is. And you guys are great with training to communicate with us and help us with stuff. And it's a real team effort. And it means a lot to me to be able to provide the best service we can to our chapter. So thank you guys for all that you do.
Oh, thank you. Thank you as well. Appreciate it. And we're not rushed. So if there's some things that you didn't cover or you wanted to, but you didn't have to speed through quite so fast. Are there any other questions or anything else you all from training would like to share?
I've covered everything that's on my list, so I think we're okay. I just wanted to mainly pause for questions.
Mhm. And we've got everything answered in the chat so far. Grace.
Yeah, maybe give them a minute if there's any other last minute questions coming in.
Okay.
But yeah, there's nothing else in the chat at the moment.
All right. I'm going to pop back on. I want to show something while we're waiting on any. If nothing, there was one thing I kind of glossed over it a little bit, but let me share this. All right. It's coming up. Okay, you should be seeing the web browser. Let me open it bigger. Okay. Let me know that you guys can see this. It's the webinar page that I showed you before.
We can see that, Tamika.
Awesome, thank you. Okay, so if you go back to where I showed you where the webinars are stored, what I thought was pretty helpful for a lot of folks that went to that webinar, we pulled out links and made a quick reference link section. So right under the webinar, you'll see that there are quick links to every topic and how to get there. So when we talked about step-by-step guide on filling out your report, there's a quick link. There's a quick link to the step-by-step guide to viewing your benefits and rewards. So once you put your annual report in, and then you want to go verify that you've got the benefit, you can, we've shown you how to do that with the step-by-step guide. It goes over everything. So if you need to get to quick access to the travel policy, quick access to your reimbursement links, and then the rewards links. So that is right above the upcoming webinars. So that's where that is. I just wanted to make sure that you knew that that was there. So if you didn't have time to watch the video of the webinar, then everything we talked about is right there. So that shortens your time of having to watch it all, because that's everything we covered. That's all. I wanted to make sure we pointed that off, and just to just encourage you to go ahead and submit the annual report if you haven't done so, and of course to reach out to us if you have any questions.
I think I would like to say one more thing, if you don't mind, Tamika.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
So I'm going to share my screen one more time. I do encourage you to work with the page that Tamika and Grace have put together, because it is really good, and it links you to places really, really quickly. If you happen to find yourself on the training page, I don't want you to get lost. So if you happen to find yourself here, this is the main training page. There's a waffle menu up here in the top right hand corner. If you click it, that gets you to all the different training options that you might need. That you'll see schedule your CEB today, and that gets you to the page that that Tamika and Grace linked you to so quickly. So just if you happen to find yourself in training and you wonder where I was finding all this information, this little waffle menu is really the best place to find this. It also shows our Learn Live events that we do every Wednesday. And if you want to hire ICC to teach, then the request group training is here. So just keep that in mind. And our email address is learn@iccsafe.org, or I'm kphiggs@iccsafe.org. Okay.
Awesome. Thank you, Carla. One other thing I wanted to mention just briefly about the upcoming email that you're going to get either tomorrow or Monday. Just so that you're aware, we are sending to chapter presidents and the chapter primary contact on the account. So if you have a chapter president that doesn't check their emails, you might want to reach out to them by Monday evening or Tuesday and say, did you get, the email from ICC about the link for the conference? Just reach out and touch base, because sometimes the chapter president is the primary, and that means nobody else is getting it. So if you would make sure that the chapter president checks the email and the primary contact, but that's who's getting that one. So just a tip so that you won't be wondering where it is. That's all I have. Does anybody else have anything?
We did get one more question in the chat.
Okay.
Our annual conference is in January. What is the best way for us to get our CEB each year, since it will be expired at the beginning of the calendar year?
I can take that one. So my suggestion to you, if you have an annual conference that's going to occur in January, let's say 2025, I would encourage you to contact us to let us know that you'd like to use your 2025 Chapter Education Benefit Day for your conference that's occurring in January. Contact us the end of this summer or this fall, and we can put things in place so that we can accommodate your request, and then be prepared to submit your annual report as soon as the report window opens at the very beginning of January in 2025. So just contact us to coordinate, and then be prepared to submit your annual report as soon as you have the opportunity to do so at the beginning of January 2025.
Yeah, and we're happy in training to help you schedule at something too. I would start with membership, as Ron suggested, but we can certainly work with membership to try and get you something scheduled without stressing you out by waiting till the last minute, knowing that you're going to put your annual report in for the next year just as soon as possible.
Okay.
I think that's it.
All right. Well, maybe I'll, if there are no more questions, I'll close out on behalf of Tamika and Grace and Carla and Ashley and all of us at the Code Council. Want to thank you for taking the time to join us today. We hope that you've gotten some information that will help you to maximize the use of your Chapter Education Benefit Day. And also other information, certainly, as Tamika mentioned, related to the annual conference, which is coming up, and you'll be receiving information shortly. At the end of this webinar, there will be a short survey. We would really strongly encourage you to fill that out. It doesn't take but a few minutes to do, and the information that you include in that survey will help us to better serve you for our future webinars. Also, if there are specific topics that you feel would be helpful for us to include in our future webinars, make sure to include those in your evaluation, and we'll do our very best to make sure that those issues are covered during our future webinars. So with that, Tamika, Grace, if there's nothing else, I think we'll finish out. And again, thanks for coming, and hope everyone has a great day.
Thanks, everybody.